Why, hello there. I'm Brad, and this is Transports. We're going to tell you all about the fun things to get your chainsaws into close combat. I'm joined today by Gavin and Jared. So, disembarking.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Let's start because it has to happen at the start. So they talked about disembarking for transports, which is like the big fundamental thing. You get in a vehicle, you get out. So
wow, common sense.
I know, right? So disembarking has to happen at the start. It's like the first thing you got to do. It's like almost like a sub phase for movement. And the reason that being is because there's a tactical like impact on what you can do for disembarking now, which is once I can pop out, I can now charge. I can charge. All vehicles are assault vehicles.
Yeah,
you can move, you can shoot, you can charge.
Is equally exciting and terrifying.
Yeah, no, I think it's a positive change, especially since like the counterpoint is you have to disembark at the beginning, because no longer will you have. Because the biggest problem that I've seen in 7th edition with transports, outside of just hiding in them, is that, and I've kind of abused this myself sometimes, is, you'd stick your Centurions in a drop pod, but sometimes you'd also give their dedicated transport a Land Raider if you wanted to spend the points. You'd move 6, you'd deploy 6, you'd disembark 6. So you gave your guys a free
12-inch move.
12-inch move instead of the base 6, and then
you
suddenly
nuke my Swarmlord in the first turn of shooting before I can even do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. So now that it happens,
that was fun. Capital F.
Well, and then if you look at like a wave
Capital
serpent,
U.
if you up, it moved 18 inches, and if you upgrade its engines, you could go 24.
Yep.
And then if you could disembark and charge, then like I'm on you turn 1.
Yeah, so their counterpoint to that was, no, you invest all your movement in the previous phase to get there, and then you have to weather the storm, and then pop out at the start of your movement phase.
So you can't just move, get out, no bonus movement essentially from your vehicle. You need to, like you said, weather the fire, which means things like, I imagine, popping smoke, probably going to be a lot more important. We'll see how it works.
And the fact that now that, because all of this was to address combat, and how people move and stuff, because vehicles were too much of I'm just going to hide in it until it pops.
Yeah.
But they've made it more open and more durable.
And scary if you're hiding inside of it.
Yeah, and super scary, which we'll get to in a second. But since vehicles can charge now, there's options where, hey, I'm going to pop out of my vehicle. My vehicle's going to charge and eat up the Overwatch, which I talk about that funny picture with the orcs, just slamming into it, and then the boys coming out and getting into the fight while the truck's slapping them.
Yeah,
with its doors.
Yeah. Or the grab and claw going. Yeah. But now that they can charge, they can weather the Overwatch because vehicles are more durable now.
Right.
So it's you're more incentivized to use them as a
battering ram.
Yeah, battering ram to eat that and engage the unit so that those guys can charge safely.
It's gonna be really exciting to see things like tactical squads and rhinos going in, absorbing Overwatch, maybe even just exploding because
it's going to be so good to have tactical squads pop out of a rhino and charge.
Yeah, I think something that could be really cool too. Who knows if it will even be a thing. Would be, because like if you are going in with a vehicle, if the unit that was in that vehicle could then somehow in close combat be using that vehicle as cover as well, to aid in its save or something like that.
They kind of had something. They have something like that currently where you can still stay in the vehicle while it charges and gets into combat.
Yeah.
And they made that apparent with saying that, hey, they specified pistols. They didn't say anything else, but they specified pistols that you can shoot out of. And the example that they gave was the Starweaver.
Yep.
Was actually one of their prime examples of, here's a vehicle that's pretty good in melee.
Yeah.
It's got, because the driver's just so good. He's so good.
It's very similar because it's Harlequin, right? Starweaver is a Harlequin.
Yeah, I believe
vehicle.
so. Yeah.
So it's halfway between Eldar and Dark Eldar almost in its design. It's got a lot of swooping angles, things that you could just hook and slap.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably see a lot of things like that in our Dark Eldar as well. Bladed vehicles that are gonna work really well in combat. Still be really easy to destroy, but offensively good.
It's got movement 16.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So we haven't even seen that's the only transport that we've seen out of all the stat lines that they've introduced.
That's true.
Like the Annihilation Barge that we talked about previously has movement 12, which is really good.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
But that's still it's kind of unchanged for that because that could always do that. But movement 16 for a Starweaver for a transport is
That's
super
a
good.
lot of transport. I mean, it works so thematically with your Harlequins, who we were already told going to be probably, we were told the Eldar are going to be moving faster than most human Imperium dwellers. But we know that Harlequins are even faster than the standard Eldar. So this is going to be crazy.
I feel like I'm safe to assume that a lot of all the vehicles in general, especially transports, are going to be we've seen this on a lot of the profiles. They're all going to be moving faster than usual, than 7th edition, which was you'd move 6 to 12 and then 6 more in the shooting phase. It's now just you have your base movement, which is in this case for the Star Weaver 16,
and you can D6
advance,
advanced D6.
So that's pretty far moving. But
roll
like
well.
that being applied to like some degree to all of the vehicles is going to make getting into combat easier.
Oh yeah.
But you want to get out of those vehicles.
Oh yeah. So if you don't get out of those vehicles, let's say you're hiding and that vehicle goes down to its last wound.
Yeah.
Or it has no wounds left.
Yeah.
Everyone has to disembark, like an emergency disembark situation. And for every model that disembarks, you roll a dice. On a roll of a 1, that model is dead.
Dead, straight up.
It's not taking a wound. It is the wording is the model dies on a dice roll of a 1, which means the model is slain and removed from play.
So Tigurius piling out of that Land Raider with those Centurions that just popped. Tigurius rolls a 1. He's dead. Doesn't matter how many wounds he has. He's dead.
And remember, the vehicle damage table is gone. It's still gone.
You can't just pop it.
This just emulates when it runs out of wounds and is killed like any other model in the game. This is just it thematically representing it blowing up, or it
burning.
crashing and tumbling and flipping over and all that stuff.
You
Or
get hit by a
Imperial
door.
Knight picking you up
You get
and
hit
throwing
by
it
a
across the...
piece of metal that goes straight through you. You rolled a 1, man. Sorry, you got wrecked.
Yeah. So I think. Oh, another one important thing that they talked about is multiple units.
Yes.
Oh
that's
yeah,
very
they
true.
actually brought
That's
this up
very
a few
true.
times in a few articles. We just haven't really gotten the time to talk about this. It's really exciting because being able to. I mean, we knew this had to happen because characters are no longer in units. So if you wanted to have a character in your unit of like, for instance, my Skitarii, if I wanted to have Call in a transport, not that they have transports.
Right.
Bad example.
That's really bad. I'll take over. so with the character rules, they said characters can't join units. But so the workaround for this for transports is that the transports can take multiple units. So there's likely going to be a capacity, obviously, and then you just have to respect that. You can cram as many units as you can into it, as long as you respect the capacity amount, which makes so much sense.
Yeah. Capacity is 12. I could do this group of 5, this group of 5, and I could do 1 HQ or 2 HQ. That's 12.
Exactly, and it works
And they
around
can
that
all
whole.
die when they get
can
this.
all
They
die.
can all
So you
die
better get
when
that
it just.
out.
Hey,
Gets
but here's
crumbs.
the good news is on that roll of 1, you have these command points with your stratagems.
Yeah.
So on the point of you could lose your HQ that has like upwards
True.
of 6 wounds, being in transport and rolling a 1 when it blows up. You could use your stratagem to re-roll that 1.
And then how bad does it feel when you roll a 1 again?
Well, I mean at that point, fate has determined
At that point, you quit.
that he's dead.
There's no getting out for him.
He's donezo. But like that's a positive change. That's like the only action that they could have taken in order to keep the poor HQs just foot slogging it while everybody else zips up the board.
Yeah.
Like what's my war boss gonna do?
Wait for me, boys!
You got it, mates!
Oh man. But I think that does it for transports.
It does.
We've covered pretty much everything here.
Yeah,
Join us
transport's
next
pretty
time
simple.
for our next video, which we don't know what it is yet, do we?
We don't know.
I don't know. We've caught up.
Wait, we've caught up for the time being.
Well, no,
no.
by the time we get this video out, it won't be caught up
Oh
anymore.
jeez.
I promise everybody watching, soon enough we will be caught up. New content coming very soon though. Lots of awesome things in the work. Comment, like, subscribe, do all those fun things, and we'll see you next time.